Hey everybody, happy Friday. Our days all blend together, but I hope this message finds you and your family doing as well as possible. Wanted to shoot this video, talk about stress, and probably never more relevant and more apparent. And wanted to give you some tips for each of the three types of stress that you can help to think of a seesaw. Things are continue to go in this way in society by the day. So we're going to try and balance those out. So the three types of stress. One is mental or emotional stress. And I'm going to give you a strategy here in a second, but the constant news cycle that we live in is bombarding our bodies and bombarding our minds, and bombarding our emotions. And there is certainly things to be concerned with. The state of the economy, the virus itself, fear is certainly things that we need to be aware of and real and attentive to. But if we continuously watch the news over and over and over and over again, and 24/7 content, and it is everywhere, that is going to continually add more and more and more and more and more and more stress. So what I would suggest for you is to, one, cap the amount of news that you watch, whether that's a half hour or an hour would be the absolute most. But what I choose to do is completely step away from it and not watch it at all. I do stay abreast of what's going on. I read, but I don't watch the news, and I don't. It's not good news, no matter what it is, whether it's a virus or shootings or whatever's going on. It's typically not good news. So I stay as far away from them as I possibly can. So hopefully that's something you can do. Another tip for some mental stress and balancing things out would be to work on breathing, deep breathing exercises. I've done a video with our friend Joe Dowling, who's got some great zonefulness. He calls it joepdowling.com is his website. He has some great resources. There's tons of different apps and devices for meditation, but to try and, again, level that playing field out goes a long, long way. So for me, I typically do meditation twice a day. I'm doing some with the kids, doing it on my own. And it's definitely been a foundation that I fortunately had prior and continue to grow on and continue to need more than ever with that. So that's mental stress. Chemical stress, the foods that we eat. The biggest culprit of stressing our immune system is sugar. And that can come in the form of refined carbohydrates, breads, pastas, pizzas, cereals, etc. Soda, alcohol. And I'm not standing here acting like I haven't had one or two adult beverages over this quarantine, because I certainly have. And there's been a few days for sure where it's been much needed. But trying to minimize your exposure to sugar is certainly something that can go a long way. And the correlation with this virus and affecting people with diabetes, with obesity, with heart disease, cardiovascular disease, metabolic syndrome, that's definitely something to try and be very mindful of. And you may want to look at doing things to reduce your sugar intake, reduce your sugar consumption, and maybe even look at, if you're going to have sugar, just have it one meal so that you don't continuously ride the roller coaster of your insulin levels skyrocketing and then dropping down, skyrocketing and dropping down. So try and substantiate that if you are going to have sugar. Potentially have some fiber with it, so something like fruit has fiber with it. But that can be a lengthy conversation, but just in general, sugar wreaks havoc on your immune system. Try and stay away from that. And the other type of stress, we touched on mental or emotional, we touched on chemical, and now we're talking about physical. And we talk about it all the time, but probably never more important is these. And what I'm talking to you on right now, laptop, they're being utilized all day, every day in most situations, and especially with the younger generations and these kids doing homeschool. And it's it was a huge issue, and it's exponentially worse now. So how you are and how you hold yourself. I'm spending hours a day on a laptop watching webinars and doing things, trying to keep the office to whatever extent we can afloat. But to be aware and mindful of how you sit in front of a device and how you hold that can go such a long way. And tying some together, when you hunch over and you slouch, you're compressing your spine, you're compressing your heart, compressing your lungs. You're not getting as much oxygen in your body as you could or should, and that's continuing to perpetuate more and more stress physically as well as chemically. You're not getting oxygen in your system, and that's going to manifest itself to the mental, emotional. You're going to be more stressed and a more fight or flight response. So the levels of stress are substantial, and we can't completely hide from them, but we can do things to try and, again, balance out that seesaw and try to make the most that you can of the situation and do the best that you can each and every day. And it's never going to be perfect, but I hope that those tips can be helpful for you. So best wishes to you and your family, and hope to catch you in person real soon. But until then, stay well,